Hello. My question is, do souls have unique names? And if they do, how can we remember our unique soul name while incarnated here on Earth? Thank you.
Souls do not have unique names. They have unique vibrational resonances by which they recognize one another. Doesn't really translate as names as you understand it in physical reality. You can give your soul a name if you wish. Doesn't matter. But as a soul, you have a vibration that is unique. That's how other souls recognize you. It's not exactly a name.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I have some questions about the concepts of existence and consciousness.
Yes.
My first question is that I understand that my concurrent past, present, and future lives for this incarnation are all happening right now from the Oversoul's perspective. But as my soul chooses to cycle through different incarnations during its existence, I know all of those potential incarnations already exist, but surely they're not all happening right now, correct?
In a sense, yes, and in a sense, no. I understand this can be confusing. But the idea is that from the perspective of the versions of consciousness that are experiencing them, they are all happening now. But from your perspective on the level you are at, they do not seem to all be happening now. That's just the result of the level you're looking at this concept from. But from other levels, yes, they all exist, are all happening right now. Because each and every version of consciousness that can and does experience those lives is experiencing them now. Everything is happening now. Everything. However, from your perspective, you will not experience those things until you create the linear order in which you deem is appropriate for your unique soul's growth. I understand again that this can be a little confusing, but nevertheless, in a sense, the answer is both yes and no.
Of course. So there's never a still frame that remains vacant. There's always consciousness.
Yes.
In every frame.
Every frame. There's always consciousness.
All right. My second question is about densities. Now, are densities attributes of the game pertaining to the game we play in different incarnations?
Yes.
Or are the attributes of the individual soul itself?
Well, it's what the soul has chosen to experience that determines the density that the incarnation takes place in.
Okay, so a soul can jump to different...
Well, that's what's going on your planet right now. You're going from a lower vibration to a higher vibration while still experiencing physical reality. So the way that humans have coined this is you're going from third density, a lower vibration, to fourth density, a higher vibration, and yet it still remains a physical experience, but a more refined one. So densities are kind of like states within a country. Dimensions are the countries. So you're going from third density to fourth density in the fourth dimension. But when you go to fifth density, you're actually crossing into the fifth dimension, which is non-physical reality. So it's like going from one country to another, while going from third density to fourth density is just like going from one state to another within the same country. Does that make sense?
Yes, but my soul, once it reaches its next incarnation, can choose any density level it wants.
For whatever it wants to learn. Yes, of course. Now, as you progress, if you progress, it is unlikely that you will again choose a density that is representative of a lesson you've already learned. But you can use that to your advantage for different purposes. So, but you may experience it in a different way because of what you have become, what you've already learned, what you're bringing to the table in the new incarnation. So it's not like a more advanced being can't also choose to incarnate in a density that would seem to be lower, but it will do so for a completely different purpose and a completely different lesson and a completely different service.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that help?
And see, yes, that helps a lot. Now, since we expand and contract within the soul billions of times per second, during each pulsation, does our expansion actually reach all the way through each and every one of those middle layers of consciousness, like the two automatic minds, the template level, up to the soul itself?
Well, yes and no. It's not exactly that you're contracting and expanding within a particular incarnation. The contraction and expansion is from one incarnation to another. When we talk about the idea of shifting billions of times per second, it's not the same kind of contraction and expansion that happens between incarnations.
But in your soul cycle transmission meditation, you were employing this wording of the soul contracting, expanding billions of times per second. So that maybe that got me confused a little bit.
All right, well, we apologize if the terminology wasn't clear. But the idea is when we talk about that kind of contraction and expansion, we're talking about a contraction and expansion of space-time, not necessarily of the soul itself to all the different levels.
Got you. All right. And after accumulating enough experience, can the soul eventually grow to become its own oversoul, capable of extending souls of its own?
Well, not really. The oversoul is a euphemism that represents the idea, or is the same thing, that you also refer to as the soul family. So you don't become the soul family. Now, of course, there is a level of perspective from which you can identify with all of the souls in the family and can see them and experience them in a way as if you contain them, but that's just a perspective. You don't actually become the entire soul family.
Okay. Finally, you described the soul as an eternal sphere of light, but also said in other transmissions that we create the unique soul for the unique journey. So am I correct?
No. You don't
nothing actually gets created.
No, you don't create a unique soul. You create a unique personality that then generates a spirit, which becomes the memory of that life within the soul. So you're not generating new souls, you're generating new personalities.
That was my understanding too. So as the soul, I only create the specific configuration of the unfired clay inside it for that unique incarnation.
Yes, you choose different patterns that represent different experiences. That is new. That's generated uniquely. But the soul itself is the same soul.
All right. Yeah. That clarifies a lot of things.
Yes. Now, in a sense, I understand the confusion. Because when you do choose new patterns, in a sense, you are presenting as if you are a different soul, because more clearly you're presenting new patterns, but from the same soul. But it would be perceived almost as if it is a new soul, because that presentation of the soul is unique to that incarnation.
I see.
So that may be the root of the confusion, is that in a sense it's a new presentation of the soul, but not literally a new soul.
Okay. Well, that clarifies my thoughts.
All right.
Thank you very much, Bashar, for your time.
You are very welcome.
Greetings to you. Bye-bye.
Avail.
Hello, Bashar. On the 8th of November 2025 in Limerick, in Ireland, I was in Job Expo representing my organization. I think I could have met a hybrid there, or precursor. I asked him in my head, can you please send me a wing if this is true? And he didn't. However, on the way home, I stopped for something to eat in a different town. There was a group of teenagers sitting across from my table. One of them, girl, she turned to me with the biggest smile on her face and sent me a wink, then turned back. And that was it. She never looked at me again. So my question is, can you please tell me everything I need to know about this encounter? Thank you very much to you, to Darryl, and all the team. Bye-bye.
Well, you got your wish. You were responded to. The idea is that's all it takes. That's all it takes sometimes is a nod and a wink to understand that hybrid beings do live and work among you, and that is going to become more prevalent, and they will be the first group that you will be told who they all are and start to interact with after open contact. So you got a little bit of a preview, a sneak preview, a little wink of what's to come.